Hi guys, it's Kevlar and welcome to the channel, and today's video is discussing the Osmo Action 4 in 2026. Now I think it's a great action cam and I absolutely love it. Now there is the Action 6 and the Action 6 is a fantastic camera. However, in some scenarios looking online, I do like the footage of the Osmo Action 4 better. So I decided not to upgrade. Now here's why. Now, I love the idea of the square sensor on the Osmo Action 6. You know, it'll make things easier sometimes when you want to film horizontal and landscape. Great for shorts and everything as well. However, I would say sometimes I'm filming at a distance anyway, so I can do that on the Osmo Action 4. I don't have the square sensor. I just crop in and that changes everything. Now with the aperture of 2.8 on the Osmo Action 4, is still great in low light compared to the Osmo Action 6, which has got a variable aperture of 2 to 4, which does make a difference. I have seen some of the footage, it's better in low light, but I'm still happy with my Osmo Action 4. I still think it produces some great image quality. With the Osmo Action 6, it does have a major advantage in low light. It does have a 1/1.1 inch sensor, which is close to 1 inch of a sensor. Now the Osmo Action 4 does have a 1/1.3, so there is a slight difference. However, I still think the Osmo Action 4 does great in low light. Now, I think action cameras have come a long way since the GoPro Hero 3, the GoPro Hero 4, the cameras I once had, and they were fantastic, and I still have some of the footage which I'm going to upload in a later video. But I chose the Osmo Action 4 because I love the footage it comes out of the camera. I think it's great off the bat. If you are kind of like filming, you can film it in automatic and you get some good quality color and some good footage. However, I do use the D-Log 10-bit, which gives me a better color profile that I like to put on myself. But I love this action camera. I think it's great. You know, family days out, days at the beach, it has been epic. Now here's some footage that I've caught on this camera to convince you to maybe save the money and get the Osmo Action 4. You may want to go, if you get a good deal on the Osmo Action 6, I would say go for the Osmo Action 6 because it's obviously a newer camera. However, sometimes I don't think newer is always better because, I don't know, I just love some of the footage that comes out of this camera. But I think with either camera, you can tweak around and play a bit and get some good quality footage out of this. When you start going into the settings and adjusting it yourself, the camera is fantastic. It does a great job. Now, looking at this online, I've just had a look at the price of the Osmo Action 4. Now, you can get it for £193. That's the essential combo. And then if I was to go for the standard That's 268. And then the Adventure, which I bought, which includes basically the batteries and everything as well. And there's a few other neat things you do get. Now that is 268 UK pounds. Now, if I was to have a look at the Osmo Action 6, let's see, I'm just using Amazon as a thing to look at. So the Osmo Action 6, for the enhanced combo, which is pretty much the same as what I went for, that's 375. So there is massive amounts of savings you can do by getting the Osmo Action 4. Now, is the Osmo Action 4 a vlogging camera? Yes, it can be used for vlogging. I think it's fantastic. Is the Osmo Action 4 great for training, filming? I think it's fantastic. I film most of my training workouts. When I am training, I find it is fantastic. Great for runs as well. I ran with this camera. You can kind of see a run I did on my earlier videos, but it is fantastic. Now, there are other cameras. Now, the Insta360, you know, that's at 449. Now, the Insta360 Ace Pro. Now, there are cameras that I think the footage looks fantastic. However, I'm staying true to Osmo Action 4 and sticking to that for now. Now, I probably will upgrade to the Osmo Action 7 when that comes out, because I hope that's a big leap in, you know, technology, and more things come out and it makes it worthwhile for the upgrade. Now, if you're like me and got an Osmo Action 4, I would stick to it because I think it's money wasted. I don't think it's a great investment when you've got a good camera already. Now, if you've got loads of money to burn, feel free to get both. But with the Osmo Action 4, I think it's a great camera. I think you can do great stuff with this. This is plugged in, so the mic audio right now is on the DJI Mic Mini. I'm going to take that off. We're going to see if this switches automatically. Give me 2 seconds. Okay, now that is off, and I'm hoping this is filming on the audio inside the camera. So hopefully that's switched over and you can kind of hear how that sounds. One thing I do have to mention, the Osmo Action 6 does have 8K. They did bring that out in the later firmware update. However, the Osmo Action 4, with its 4K, I'm still happy, because at the end of the day, YouTube max resolution is 4K. You can obviously film on 8K and condense it down to 4K, and you may get some slight better footage. However, I'm still happy with the Osmo Action 4. I think it's still a great camera. I've got some amazing footage, and I'm going to have amazing footage to come, especially with my holiday this year. So I can't wait to show that. If you like this video, like and subscribe, and I will be back with more tech reviews.